Hey guys, it's Deplorable Deb, and you know what? I said that I'm just gonna bring you some things a little here and a little there. So I got some stuff, like I said, so I'm just gonna play it for you, and then, I'll get some more and bring it to you, because it's easier this way. The YouTube thing, just really, it was different than when I used it before. This now, you got to put in all these settings. You got to tell it if it's under 18, over 18. This way they'll have the comments. Then when I go to post it, I have people just writing me, something's wrong with the video. It's Facebook. It's them. They're censoring us. It's not that. You have to open the app. So you know what? When I get hit with crap like that, I just say enough of that. So look, I used to do this before I went live, so you know what? And I'm just going to stick with this. So you know what? You either want me to give you the news or you want me to fiddle with some crap. So this is it. I'm a straight shooter, so I'm just telling you now. So let's listen. I believe this is with John Solomon. Yes, let's go.
Support election reform.
Wait a minute.
At least 70% of.
Hold on.
He's sort of in a tough spot.
Hold on.
Well, a new Just the News poll finds voters overwhelmingly support election reform. At least 70% of the poll's respondents supporting purging voter rolls of
No, it's a little backwards, but you know what? Just listen to it. That's how I see it.
Received by election day.
Yeah, you just gotta listen.
Votes on election night, and having poll observers from both parties present at all times. What a good idea. Joining us tonight is John Solomon. He's editor-in-chief of Just the News and best-selling author as well. John, good to have you here. It's obvious that Rudy Giuliani and his team are working against a tremendous set of deadlines here, and Sidney Powell, the same for Hirsch, which he acknowledged here on the broadcast. This is tough stuff. Sidney is very confident that the president is going to prevail. Your thoughts?
Listen, the clock is ticking. The key for the legal team is to get beyond the constitutional legal arguments, which a lot of legal scholars say they met the threshold for the argument. The key is to provide the sort of proof that would convince a judge that the irregularities, the rule changes, the questionable balance would overcome any lead in at least 3 of the states where Joe Biden is currently listed as leading. And I think that's the challenge, is to come up with mathematical and evidentiary arguments that say, listen, if these things didn't happen, President Trump probably would have won the state. And I think that's what people are working to do very quickly today. Very significant lawsuit action filed in Wisconsin by the Amistad Project. That's a state where only 20,000 votes separate Joe Biden and Donald Trump. The Amistad Project put out mathematical and other evidence showing that there could be as many as 150,000 votes that were fraudulent or improperly counted, improperly filed. That's the sort of mathematical evidence I think the courts have been looking for. Now they'll have to adjudicate, does it make sense? Do we believe it? Is it strong enough for a court to intervene in an election? But that's, I think, the challenge for the legal team. They've got to show a
scope
of misconduct, a scope of fraud that would have overtaken the lead had these things not occurred.
And that evidence, statistically, mathematically, however you wish to express it, it falls on the same line as any other circumstantial evidence, only with considerably more power, given the bent, if you will, for science these days in mathematics, one would think.
Sure.
I don't hear a lot of people on the left paying attention to these minuscule possibilities that this vote could have been carried out in a half dozen states, the way in which that vote unfolded.
Yeah, well, listen, there are the theoretical, mathematical analyses, which are very compelling, right? They just show an anomaly that the chances of which are very slight to have occurred. But in real terms, there are really strong pieces of evidence that incorrect things happen, misconduct happened. In Detroit, you've got a city worker who swears that she was instructed and saw thousands of ballots being altered. In Wisconsin, 250,000 people were allowed to vote by skipping voter ID rules because they were allowed to be called shut-ins during COVID. There are really concrete things that have happened that affected large numbers of votes. Beyond the mathematical analyses, in each state, you go to what Lynn Wood filed filed in Georgia, you've got these eyewitnesses saying we saw thousands and thousands of pristine ballots being counted for Joe Biden, meaning these are ballots that were allegedly came out of envelopes, but they weren't folded. Those sort of things are very compelling, and they are large in scope, at least as described by the affidavits and the witnesses. And so when you combine the mathematical, theoretical anomalies of the election with real eyewitness testimony and accounts, you get a sense that, something did happen, and it's going to be up to the courts. Will the courts have the courage to say that what we see as evidence is strong enough for us to intervene and overturn the vote count? It's a big ask of the courts. It's a big job for the Trump team, but I don't think it's impossible.
And Rudy Giuliani pointing out, they have eyewitnesses, they have affidavits, they have evidence. In case the national left-wing media were to ever be sincere about their request to see that very offering, it's going to be interesting to see how many of what have been heretofore politically corrupt judiciaries, see how many judges really want to see the evidence. We'll find out. John Solomon.
And guess what, guys? You can't make some of this shit up. Did you hear that? Where they had prestige ballots. Do you know what that means? They didn't even look like they were folded in an envelope, or they went through the mail. How about that? These people really think we're stupid. Like, I'll tell you, you can't make this crap up. And I'm telling you, this is some wild stuff. But you know what? I'm bringing you the positive stuff, like I tell you. Enough of that crap with listening about Biden and all of that. It doesn't come here, okay? You gotta keep the positivity going. I'm telling you now. So I'm going to post this like in a little while so you're seeing me live, okay? I'm live, see? Right now. So there's no different than when I used to do videos like this. I never did live, okay? For months. I only recorded. So here you go. I'll talk to you soon. Love you guys. I'm posting this now.